Next question, Charles. Yes, I'd love to write a book for my business one day, especially once I've figured out exactly what my business will become.
Good first step.
That is a good first step.
Yeah, carry on.
What's stopping me is a lack of current expertise in my new career as a photographer and videographer. I've done the former semi-pro for years and I'm pretty good, but the latter I'm still learning the basics. I don't know enough to position myself as an expert.
Okay, this is a really common question that I get as well, and a really common concern that people have.
So this is, you could write your journey book.
Yeah, because people forget, right? Everybody forgets this, that there is always somebody who knows less than you. And as long as you're not setting yourself up as the guy at the top of the videography tree, the guy at the top of the photography tree, the one who's been doing it for 50 bazillion years and has, all of the experience, as long as you're not falsely touting yourself as that, it doesn't matter. And I had this exact same concern when I wrote Business for Superheroes, because I hadn't been in business. I'd only been in business for 4 years when I wrote it. And I just felt like, who the hell am I to write this book? About how to start and run a business. And that's the point. I didn't write it for people who have been in business for, 10 years, 20 years and were way ahead of me. I wrote it for the people who were in my position 4 years before.
Yeah, freelancers who weren't making any money.
Yeah. And so, there was, God, I read that book every now and then and I'm like, oh God, the things that I know so much more now. And that's okay, because the book that I wrote then is not aimed at the me now. It was aimed at the me when I first started my business. So you can absolutely write a book about photography and videography. I don't know what you mean when you say your new career as a photographer and videographer. I don't know what you're specialising in, but I do know that what you have to say will help people who are right at the beginning of their journeys. So you are expert enough. Absolutely you are. As long as you're not, positioning yourself as a brain surgeon when you're a first year intern, it doesn't matter. If you're being honest about where you are in your career journey, then there are going to be people who are going to find that helpful.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. And also, people forget this as well. You are far more relatable to people who are at the beginning of their journey if you're not positioning yourself as, the Tony Robbins of photography. Tony Robbins is not relatable to people. He really isn't, because he's a bazillionaire and he's got a shiny face and, good teeth and he's but you know what I mean? It's like this Disney character because he's so perfect.
Right.
On the top of his tree. And so, if you position yourself up there, there's a whole bunch of people who you're just not going to be able to relate to. And I've had my superheroes say that to me. It's fantastic when I share the stuff that I struggle with, because that makes me really relatable. Yeah,
it makes you human, gives them encouragement that, people who are successful do struggle with stuff, and they do, fail at things and have to work at it.
So I hope that's encouraged you to write your book, despite the fact that you think that you're still learning the basics. Yeah. I mean, maybe with the videography, if you're still learning the basics, maybe don't write about that yet. Maybe write about the photography. Write
about running a photography business and moving it over to becoming a videographer.
Yeah, write about your journey learning videography.
Yeah.
That people are really going to be interested in that. The book that I'm writing at the moment is all about my journey writing books, not just for me, but for writing books for clients as well. So I've got all this experience. I've only got 2 books of my own at the moment, but I've ghostwritten 10. More than that, actually.
It's becoming a shelf, isn't it?
It's becoming a shelf. Yeah. So it's about my journey as a writer, I guess, as an author, and that's what people are interested in.
But you're not Stephen. You're not Stephen King.
No.
Sadly.
No. I got boobs.
Okay.